Guilty. Donald Trump found guilty on all 34 counts of falsifying business records in the first degree. All 34 are felonies. Donald Trump has now been convicted of 34 different felony crimes by a jury of his peers in Manhattan.
We are looking at count 1, guilty. Count 2, guilty. Count 3, guilty. Count 4, guilty. Count 9, guilty. Count 10, guilty. Count 25, guilty. Count 26, guilty. Count 33 and 34, guilty. That is Donald J. Trump, defendant in New York versus Donald Trump, found guilty on all 34 felony counts. That is the verdict here in this case.
The only person at this stage is a convicted felon is the man I'm looking at right now.
Fox News Alert now, and some developments in the hush money case of Donald Trump in a New York City courtroom. The New York judge, Juan Merchan, has granted Trump permission to file a motion to dismiss that case.
Well. It wasn't too long ago that former president, now president-elect Donald Trump, became a felon in New York City, of all places, his hometown, after being brought in front of Judge Juan Merchan by Letitia James and Alvin Bragg. He was convicted of 34 felonies. This is the first time ever a former president, ever convicted of felonies. And people were like, how are they allowing a felon still to be on the ballot? And I don't know if you remember, but when we were talking about Trump, a lot of people's argument was, oh, he's a felon. How could you really vote for somebody guilty of such egregious crimes? Now, if you really looked into the case, you would see that really was there much there? Was there a lot of substance? Like, he was paying for some women's services, some escort services. Now, do I condone that? No. But do a lot of people out there do it? Yeah, I bet your favorite athletes, your favorite rappers, your favorite streamers, all of them paying for it. If we really gonna have an issue, we gotta call it across the board. And then at the same time, we can't prop up the women that are doing that. If we gonna say that the men shouldn't be paying for it, shouldn't we be saying also that the women shouldn't be doing it? And I also have an update on the Jack Smith special counsel charges that were also dropped. But let's get to this one first. Like I said, this is the one that made him a 34-time felon. Judge in Trump hush money trial postponed sentencing to consider whether the case should be tossed. Now, I'm not any type of legal expert or anything like that, but even though a verdict was reached, has the case been completely closed out? Yes, he is a felon. He's been convicted, but has he been sentenced? Because I thought that sentencing would actually close out the case. Now, until he's been sentenced, I mean, he is a felon, but I mean, the case is kind of hanging up there. Now we're seeing that the judge is actually considering dropping the case. It makes me wonder, was there ever anything really there? Or was this just to distract people during the election? To make people believe that, oh, because he's a felon, he's not fit to sit in the Oval Office again.
Should never again stand behind the seal of the President of the United States. Never again.
If it's your first time, welcome. Other than that, welcome back. Still pushing for 1,000 subscribers by New Year's Eve. So if you enjoy the content, hit the subscribe button, drop a like, and then join in on the conversation with a comment. Also, let me just say happy Thanksgiving in case you don't tune in for another video for the week.
Turkey's great this year.
Oh yeah, it's almost like it's great again.
Mashed potatoes are good.
Oh yeah, I got them for cheap. It's almost like grocery prices are going down. That's weird.
Oh God, this is giving me gas.
Well, you're about to get a lot more gas. Olean. His prices are going down. So who'd you vote for?
Okay, I'm leaving.
You have the judge's adult daughter, Lauren Merchan, making millions, raising millions off of this criminal trial, requiring the judge's recusal under New York statute. And you have a Manhattan jury pool that voted 87% for Joe Biden. But if President Trump or his campaign points out any of these facts, Judge Juan Merchan, this Democrat judge who donated to Biden, is threatening to put Trump in prison.
Things like this happening need to be investigated for election interference. Because why is it happening at this time? Y'all don't get the timeline of everything? just assault this man for the last 4 years, weaponize the DOJ. Now they're talking about, oh, well, Trump's going to go after his political enemies. Why not? That's what they sat here and did, or whatever they call it. Hey, that's what we going to do. Whatever they want to call it, because why wouldn't Trump do the same thing that has been done to him? They've gone after his family. They've gone after his business. They've tried to tie him up in legal cases, bankrupt the man. And then now that they all see it coming back, they're all shitting bricks. This case was dirty from inception, including the judge putting a gag order on Trump so he couldn't talk to the public about what was truly going on. Never mind, check this out. Representative Elise Stefanik files ethics complaint against hush money judge over daughter's recent work for Harris campaign. So his daughter, Lauren Merchan, was working for the Harris campaign, allegedly. There is some paper trail, and I'll post it up. So that's fine. I'm telling you, yo, you could go down a rabbit hole diving into some of these people and really what's going on behind the scenes. You just got to find the paper trail. See who's tied to who, and it'll tell on itself.
It's always been very clear that the documents case, it's a hoax, is nothing but an election interference scam concocted by crooked Joe Biden and deranged Jack Smith and their hacks and thugs. It's totally illegal what they've done. And now deranged Jack has admitted in a filing in front of Judge Cannon, a highly respected judge, strong and smart, to what I've been saying happened since the illegal raid of my home, Mar-a-Lago in Palm Beach, Florida. An illegal raid it was, that he and his team committed blatant evidence tampering by mishandling the very boxes they used as a pretext to bring this fake case and to hurt the president so that crooked Joe Biden could get another 4 years, which would destroy our country.
We've got some breaking news out of D.C. David Spunt reporting right now. Special counsel Jack Smith is seeking to dismiss the Trump election interference case in Washington, D.C.
I told you, just in time for the holidays. He just keeps on winning. And I know it's demoralizing people on the left just to see that, oh, his hush money case potentially getting dismissed. Now, all the election interference, oh, he was trying to do this. And we already saw that the Russian collusion thing was a hoax. Everything that they have put out over the past 8 years is slowly but surely getting debunked. All right, if you are really keeping up, you understand what's going on, what's been going on. But for the everyday people that aren't as in tune, they're starting to see it for themselves. It was all a lie. It was all just political. We saw how they stopped calling this man Hitler the day after he won the election. A lot of people started changing their rhetoric. Didn't Joe and Mika just take a trip down to Mar-a-Lago to see Trump? Like, slowly people are starting to wake up and understand that it's a new direction that the country is headed in, including Jack Smith. All of a sudden, he drops his charges. Why even bring him up in the first place?
After almost 2 years of this Jack Smith saga, things seem to be ending for him. We just need the judge to sign off on it. After thousands of pages and hundreds of hours of interviews, it comes down to just 6 pages. Jack Smith, the special counsel, asking Judge Tanya Chutkan to dismiss this superseding indictment. This is the election interference case.
It was all just a show. Anybody that got emotionally invested, that's allowing it to tear up your families, that people saying they're not going to people's house for the holidays because they voted this way or whatever, these people don't think like that. Look at it. All the charges are getting dismissed slowly but surely. All of them cases brought up against Trump are going to get dismissed, dropped, all of that. Including the felonies in New York where everybody's like, oh, he's a felon, this. For nothing. By Inauguration Day, Trump will no longer be a felon, no longer have any of these cases looming over him. That's at least what I'm thinking. In closing, what do you think about all of these people that for the last 4 to 8 years have conspired against President Trump? All right, we got Letitia James, Alvin Bragg, Juan Merchan, Fani Willis, Nathan Wade, Merrick Garland, Joe Biden. Everybody on the left is constantly talking about fearing President Trump attacking his political opponents. Well, what has Joe Biden done for the last 4 years at least? What has he done? And before then, it was others. I mean, we even have Fonnie Willis meeting with Kamala Harris at the White House before her campaign even kicked off, before these charges in Georgia kicked off. And then as soon as she goes back home, what happens? Come on, man. This was all political warfare. And it's crazy in America that we have actually seen that take place. A lot of people don't want to accept it. And then when Trump turns it around, which I fully believe he should, okay, it's within his rights. They came after him. They came after everything he owns, everybody around him. And anybody who sat around and said that this is right, when it's right until they come after you or somebody that you love. This has been an abuse of the judicial system. If it's okay for one, then you're saying that that sets the precedent that it's okay for the other. That's why I say Joe Biden did it. You might as well let Trump do it. It's about time that he start playing the same type of game that they playing, because they're not playing fair. They already had somebody climb up on top of the roof and attempt to execute the man, and Secret Service didn't know anything about it, right? There's not a mole in there. There's not a few rats in there. All right, there's not, even though local PD saw him on top of the roof, right? So maybe there was a leak in there too. I don't know. Or do you think it is very unpresidential of a president to go after his political opponents, regardless of what they've done to him in the past? He's supposed to turn the other cheek, right? He has an obligation to the people, and he has to turn around the country, and he shouldn't be focused on getting retribution on the people that spent damn near the last decade going after him, including, I don't know who was associated with, but I know he had multiple attempts on his life, and who could we attribute that to? They said that Trump was guilty of R-wording women and all of that, without any type of official charges and stuff like that. But this is the type of things that they're allowed to get away with in the media. It's finally good that after all of that ridicule, after all of that dragging his name through the mud, you know, we actually gonna get to see his freaking Phoenix story. You know what I'm saying? He's gonna come out of the ashes. They have not given this man a fair shot at anything since he came down that escalator. But either way, I'm interested to know whatever you're thinking in the comments section. Till the next video, y'all be safe and stay wavy.
Repetition is the father of learning.